As you can see, Abby has improved a lot since she was found just over 2 weeks ago, almost on death's door. In the couple of weeks that she's been in care, she has improved dramatically. Even the AVN vet clinic, the uni clinic out of Camden, said that when we brought her in, they thought that it was not going to be a good ending. But as you can see, Abby is still here with us after 2 and a bit weeks. She has had her ear tags put in, so that's a good sign that release is coming soon. Her paw, her right paw that she wasn't using much, as you can see, she's using both front paws at the moment to eat her leaf. She's loving her breakfast today. She's chomping away at that. There's different varieties of leaf. I'm not sure what their names are, but I know which ones to get now, thanks to Koala, my partner. She likes the fresh tips. She also likes the older, bigger green leaves. She can get a lot of juice and moisture out of those leaves, so she likes them as well. It's good to see her happy. She's climbing. She's up on the log, as you can see. It's not a big steep incline, that log, but it's enough to get her using that paw. So technically she will not be released until she can use that claw a lot more in climbing and all that sort of stuff. I think in a week she should be moving over to a climbing facility with Sydney Wildlife, and then she'll be learning to climb with that paw, which, like I said, she can already do. She's been climbing up and down the logs and using it pretty good. And as you can see, she's using it to grab onto the leaf as well. She finds the leaf she wants, she pulls it down. I'm still nervous and think she's going to fall, so I get ready to catch her all the time. But I think she's really confident now, and she knows what she's doing. I don't know how koalas balance at the best of times when they're in a tree. Normally they go right out to the end of the limb just to get the fresh parts of the leaf and all that. So how's everybody going this morning? This beautiful Saturday morning. Abby's in a climbing playpen, getting some sunlight from the sun near the window, eating yummy leaf and the stems as well. So those stems she's eating, there must be a lot of juices in them as well. How she's holding on, I don't know. Oh, there she goes. She's eating the fresh stuff now. She doesn't want that fresh tips now. She just wants the good old leaves. You can hear her chomping away at the leaves, and she'll chew on some of those big leaves for a fair bit just to get all the juice and the moisture out of it and the energy she needs from those, which we all know eucalyptus trees do not have much energy, and that's why koalas sleep a fair bit. But isn't she beautiful? She's got an orange and blue ear tag. The University Hospital out there at Cobbity have done a really good job in helping her. We've been giving her antibiotics in the first week she was here. Since then, the antibiotics are now no more, and we assumed she had kidney failure, so that's what infection, and that was why she was on the antibiotics. Since then, she's dramatically improved, and she's, like the uni said, that they thought she just wasn't going to make it. She was that unwell, and yeah. And I don't know if a lot of you know, Smith Creek Reserve out here in Roos is a patch of land inside houses. Houses are all surrounding this area. Many years ago, before development came through this area, there used to be natural running, flowing water in the streams. Now it's just a dried out creek bed unless it rains. So the koalas in these times that used to get their moisture from their leaf and the moist mornings and all that sort of stuff, due to climate change, believe it or not, it does take the moisture out of a lot of the trees, especially when we get 40-something degrees temperature. So then koalas will need to come down and get some water source. When they do, they come down into Smith Creek, which is bone dry as well. We have had a lot of koalas in the Smith Creek region, are surrounded by houses here, which have had kidney failure and died. Alexis, the first koala I ever seen in Smith Creek, which made me do our Facebook page, did pass away from kidney failure as well. The story was she came back near my house. I found her down at the base of a tree, rolled up in a ball, took her out to the university, and there was no help. Her kidneys just failed, and there was no helping her, sadly. But into the future, we should be able to maintain a better water source out there and get something done for the local koalas in this pocket of land in between all these houses that we are lucky to have. Beautiful koalas in our own backyard. We've got Ross the koala that the local neighbourhood watches and keeps an eye out. On hot days, they put buckets of water down the base of the tree for him, and any other wildlife that want to use it. So that's just one thing. So is there any questions out there? There's a few people watching. Make sure you share, get the awareness out there on how beautiful these creatures are and how lucky we are to have these creatures in our suburbs. Just grabs that leaf and rips it apart and tries to get whatever she wants and still balances on that log. There's all different variety of leaf in there. She would know better than me. I hope she's not going to climb out now. Not on a live feed. I better get her some more leaf to put down for her. Just bear with me. I'll get you some more, Abby. You can reach. What about this one? Yeah. We'll move this one down for you. Is that alright? Does that meet your standards? Does that meet your standards, darling? Alright, that's some good ones. So she wants all the big old green leaves, and they're the ones that we give her because she enjoys them. She is now 4.5 kilos. When she came in, she was only 3.2 kilos, so she has put on a bit of weight, which is good. We wanted to carry on and put on more weight. She's loving that leaf. I'll let you watch a bit longer. Chomping away at that leaf. You wouldn't believe how much of a mountain of old leaf I've got outside on my veranda from the fussy Abby that doesn't want to eat this, doesn't want to eat that, and then I'm left with old leaf. So, But the main thing is she eats what she wants to eat, and we're not going to force feed her to eat anything. She was on a few poo shakes when she came in, which is a mixture of healthy koala poo and other foods like baby formulas, like pureed food, and that was mixed together and syringe fed. And what that does, the healthy koala poo that's inside the mixture actually improves the gut line and the antibodies and all that inside for this koala that was very ill. So by using other healthy koala poo, we can improve other koalas. So she possibly improved on that as well. But she's loving it. She's chomping away and enjoying it. She don't even care that I'm here. The next stage she'll go to, is a climbing facility where she can climb a little bit and then into the big tree. And once she's in the big tree, she will be left to her own devices. She can eat out of that tree. She can do whatever she wants in that tree, and she'll dehumanise in that tree. Dehumanise in that tree, so she can become a wild koala again. When koalas come into care, as wild as they are, they still come into care. A little bit feisty in the beginning, but then once they're in care for a bit, they settle down and they understand, I believe, that you're here to help. So she will let me pick her up and put her back into her hospital cage and bring her back out here and all that sort of stuff. She'll let me do what I have to do. If I've got to clean her backside because she sits down or wheeze on herself, I have to clean that. Just to make general feel of her, to make sure her body mass is coming back and she is improving. Even the vet said that her body mass is coming back and she's getting stronger and looking stronger. She has got my birds in the background, making it feel natural at home when lorikeets and that noisy in the background. She loves that leaf. Look at her. At the moment, we've got a couple of male koalas out the back here in Smith Creek near my house. I'm assuming they can sense that Abby is here. I'm sure even sometimes when I've watched her at night on the camera, I've heard the koala and then I've seen her move her head around like she's heard something. So it's quite possible she could hear him, because we're right on the bush here at Smith Creek, and yeah, animals aren't silly. They know what's going on. She probably feels safe in the hospital cage, away from those big bully males out there, Ross and AJ, I believe it is, who are out there, getting closer and closer. And there two of our regular koalas out at the back here at Smith Creek near my house, Ross and AJ. And they're the ones that the neighbours are watching. And we all join together, and that's what we need. We need all the communities who live around bushland areas to watch out for not only just our koalas, all our other wildlife as well. We are lucky to have these beautiful, unique creatures, and we should be protecting them. Abby's chomping away. She's even eaten a lot of the stems, which is good. She eats a lot of different varieties of leaf. Like I'm telling you, my back veranda is nearly half full of leaf that she didn't want to eat, and it's dried out. So it's got to be changed pretty regularly. As soon as it's in a water source, there's like water down the bottom, but it doesn't last long. And what she doesn't eat, if it starts getting crunchy, it has to be removed and fresh stuff. So I could replace it twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, of different amounts of leaf for her. Yep, she is beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. Oh look, she's going to eat some of the fresh tips there. Look at her, jump, 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 jump. I'm very honoured to have this beautiful Abby in my care. A lot of you are unaware, but I've been rescuing for over 6 years in the Macarthur region. Primary on koalas I've been rescuing, but I do rescue other animals, kangaroos and all that sort of stuff as well. But I believe if we can save this species, it's like an umbrella species, which means that anything underneath will be saved as well. So if we can protect Abby's, oh look at her, she's getting a bit rough there. If we can save Abby's trees and her family's trees, everything else underneath is protected as well. But yeah, like I said, I've been rescuing for over 6 years in the Macarthur region, and wasn't able to care for these beautiful creatures at home because of my job that I had. But since then, I've actually left my previous job after 14 years and started my own business. And this has caused me to be able to look after these beautiful creatures, so I can organise times and things that I can do around to make sure that I can look after these creatures and give some of those carers that have been out there, like Rhonda, Renee and Carla and all that have done a magnificent job in raising and looking after koalas and other animals, a bit of a break as well, so I can help out as well. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have this beautiful Abby here. Admittedly, she takes a lot of time, and it's not like it's just an animal you have here and then you just forget about it. You have to, like I said, sometimes up to 2 to 3 times a day, different leaf for her. And constant care, cleaning. I've got that much koala poop everywhere that I've been cleaning it up. It's just like having kids. As soon as you clean it up, you got to clean it up again because she'll poop everywhere again. When I pick her up and remove her into the next cage, as delicate as it is, she still does a little poops on the way, and then I've got poops on the ground. But koala poop's pretty good. It's not like a dog's messy poo. It's like little chocolate bullets that we used to have back in the days. And yeah, it's all good. And she's pooping an awful lot, so that's a good sign as well. That's right, Neil. We want her to eat as much as possible. The more she eats, the more she poops. Anyone else want to have a talk and ask questions? Feel free. I can read them as we're going along. We'll video a bit longer so you can see a little bit more. But please share it out to your friends. The more awareness about these beautiful creatures, the better. And Abby has made it pretty big on some of her videos. I think in one of her videos when she was learning to climb backwards and forwards, it reached over 57,000 people that have viewed it. But then it said reached over 140,000 people. So it's getting out there, and that's the whole idea. Awareness is the key. We need as much awareness as possible so we can have more protection as put in place for these beautiful creatures. I don't know if you're going to notice, but if you've previously been watching, you'll see that she's getting a lot chubbier now. Her face is getting more chubbier. Her tummy area is getting a lot more chubbier. She's building up muscles now, which is good. Yeah, she's beautiful. And sad part is that she will move on in a week or so, I think the vet said, to get that arm improved into a climbing facility and then eventually back into the wild, which is going to be sad, but it's going to be good for her, but sad for me. Because after looking after her for so long, she'll be released. But that's what it's all about. Rescue, rehab and release. We don't want to keep her here any longer than she has to. We want her to build up her strength and get that paw movement as quick as possible and go back out there and be a natural koala. She has got E-tags, so we can identify her if we ever see her out there and about, so we know that, oh, look, Abby's doing all right. We don't have to take her out of a tree or anything. As long as she's doing what she has to do as being a koala, we can see the tags from a long lens camera that I've got, and we know she's doing all right. And hopefully she doesn't come down and say hello, because that's the whole idea of dehumanising before releasing. But I'm pretty sure, experience that I've had with other koalas, no matter how long you've had them, as soon as you put them down at the base of a tree in the bushlands, they sense the wild's back and they just take off. They stop halfway, they look at you as if to say thank you, but after that, they don't want to know you anymore. And yeah, that's what it's all about. It's like having children. They grow up, they move out and live their own life, but they always keep coming back for money or anything. But that's what we're here for. Hopefully she never comes back into care again and she lives a healthy, strong life. And I'll be in tears. I'm not going to lie to you, I'll be in tears if I see her in Smith Creek with a beautiful Joey of her own. She's still a bit young at the moment, but I'm sure eventually she will have her own Joey, as long as she has a healthy, strong life and stays in the Smith Creek area, doesn't venture out onto the roads or into dog areas. Hopefully she just does what a koala does and lives in trees and eats, like Ross. Ross just bellows every night and makes bad noises and keeps everyone awake, but it's just beautiful. Hopefully this live feed's making it all over the world, which will be good to see. Share the love. I'll do a few love heart emojis. Share the love. That's right now, but it would be beautiful to see her in a year or two's time with a beautiful Joey. Yeah, it would be. And living a strong, healthy life. And that's the whole idea, to make her happy. Thank you from Italy. It's good to see. We've got a lot of people from Italy actually that follow this page, and we're glad that we can show you our beautiful creatures that we have in the MacArthur region. Like, I went over to Italy many years ago. It was the best experience food-wise and sights-wise and everything. But the unique, beautiful koalas are what we are lucky to have in Australia. And we need to protect these species. You know, people from all over the world come to Australia to see our kangaroos and our beautiful wildlife, and especially our koalas. Our koalas are used left, right and centre for political things. holding a koala and all this sort of stuff. It's time that they're not just used and they're protected and needed, and yeah, to enjoy their lives in the wild and not destroy all their habitat. Yes, we need homes as well, but we can be environmentally friendly and make sure that we and the animals can live together in harmony. She's loving all that leaf, isn't she? Oh, oh, grab it, grab it, grab it. And after she finishes eating a lot of this leaf, she'll just go to sleep for a while. And then when she wakes up, she'll just start eating again. And then when she finishes eating, she'll go back to sleep again. It's just an endless cycle. You can watch every now and then. She will use that other paw, which is good. But she's just got her bum sitting on that little bit of log there and not moving at all, just chomping away. Any questions out there? Share the love with the love heart emoji. Oh, chomp, chomp, chomp. Bit of a delay. I can see what's happening before you. She'll get this big leaf in her mouth in a minute. Right down in the end here, chomp. She'll grab that and chomp, 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 chomp. It's just amazing that they could chew that. That whole leaf's gone now. She's loving that fresh leaf. It's a funny thing, once she sits up, all the poop will come out from underneath her. It's like an endless machine. She eats and poops, eats and poops. It just keeps, it's an endless cycle. Well, we might wrap it up in a few more minutes, end this live feed. So Abby can finish eating her breakfast and then probably have a sleep. Hard life being a koala. Let us know where you are in this world. Put in the comments below where you're from, what part of the world you're from, what country, just so we know where everybody's watching from. G'day Philip, how are you? So type down in the comments below where you are watching from. So if it's China or Italy, just comment down below. It's interesting to know who's watching from where around the world. As you know, we are based in Australia, in New South Wales, in Campbelltown. to just let everybody know, a baby koala, when it grows up, it cannot just eat leaf from a tree, a eucalyptus tree. If it does, it will die from the toxins in the leaf. So what occurs is, when the baby is still in the pouch and coming out every now and then to grab a bit of leaf and this and that, before it does that, it has to eat a concoction of its mother's feces that she makes into like a slurry sort of thing in her pouch, and that's called pap. And the baby koala has to eat this a fair few times before it can actually eat the eucalyptus leaf. If it doesn't, like I said, the toxins will kill it. So what it gets out of its mother's feces is the toxins to be able to eat these leaves and not pass away from the toxins. So it gets used to it. So it's like a pap, it's like a poopy sort of, runny sort of poop. And it'll eat that, and then once it eats that a few times, it's then able to eat the toxic leaf. It's just amazing creatures. They estimated Abby to be about 3 years old. Just over 3 years old. And the way they can tell the age of a koala is actually by its teeth, by the wearing of the teeth. They're really sort of a blackish teeth in there, and then once they chew on a lot of eucalyptus leaf over the years, their blackness actually wears off the teeth, and you'll see a lot more white exposed and a lot of more flatness of the teeth area. And obviously the more wear, the older they are. We've had a couple of koalas once in care that have had really worn teeth. And like I said, probably another week in care with me, and then she'll move on to the climbing facility, which will be a bigger aviary with a climbing facility that she can climb up and climb along and build those muscles up a lot more. And then once we see that her muscles are strengthening and getting stronger and she's more confident in climbing, she will then go into the big outside enclosure, which is just a big, massive gum tree and no other trees surrounding. And she'll go up there and learn to climb and eat and all that sort of stuff and dehumanize. And then eventually, when we think it's time and she comes down to the ground, we will then take her out and release her back to where she came from, which will be Smith Creek, and which will be a sad but happy occasion. And I'm sure there's a lot of neighbours around here that we talk to that will be keeping an eye on the beautiful girl. And it's all about awareness. Actually, it's like so hard. The ear tags are actually from Brazil. Good, thank you, from Brazil. So the ear tags are like how the cows and that get their ear tags as well. It's like a big leather punch, and it has both sides of the tags, and it actually clips through the ear, like a piercing. But yeah, it's like a piercing. So it actually goes through the ear. She was under anaesthetic when that was done anyway, so she didn't feel any pain. I think Miss Abby's getting into a sleeping stage now. She's eaten enough. She's going to roll up into a ball and go to sleep. You had enough now, Abby? 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 She's gone to sleep. She's chomping away over there. You can have a little rest, darling. So yeah, she'll sleep for a while now, and then eventually she'll wake up and see more leaf and then start eating again. And eating again, and then sleeping. It's just an endless cycle. Eating. Oh, she might get some more here. Oh. She might find another nice juicy leaf and decide to take that instead. Or she might just go to sleep. And a little snack before bed. As long as she keeps eating and doing what a koala does, we'll be happy. But she's quite happy eating, sleeping, pooping. Oh, look, she's going for a bigger munch now. Using a bad paw, but she's using it. That's good. See how she grabbed onto the side of the log there with that paw? That was good to use. That's what we want to see. We want to see her using that paw a lot more. And then we know that she's going to be able to survive happily out in the bush by using that front paw. Slowly her little digits on that paw are starting to move, which is good. Koalas are very complex animals, food-wise and to look after-wise. They're not pretty easy to look after. It takes a lot of time and effort, and that's what is involved. And you have to, you want this creature to get better and stronger and all that sort of stuff. As you can see, she's chewed a fair bit of leaf. There's only a few stems sticking out down the bottom there. See that bit of leaf she's chewing on there, how she's really chewed on that. And here we are as adults and kids who don't like our veggies, but she has to eat what she has to eat. That's what they like to eat, leaf. Juicy eucalyptus. Let's see what she's going to grab next, or she might just go back to sleep. Oh, I might go for a sleep. It's too tiring to eat. Like I said, they don't get much energy off those leaves. It's a very poor diet if you wanted to be an Olympic runner. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for her. She's pretty much down and out now. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Stay tuned for more live feeds of Abby. Take care, and if we don't see you before, have a good Christmas.